Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Loudmouth Podcast. It's me, Luke Brown. It's me, Alfie, joined with Ryan and eventually Luke, but he's running a bit late, so we're going to start without him.
Quite a bit late. As always, we're here. It feels strange when it's just us two.
I know, it's like the missing link.
The
there's a missing
ham
link there.
in the two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where's that coming from?
But
So wait, never mind. Sorry, I had a freak out there, but I have the live stream open in another tab, so I thought the audio was coming through.
Oh, that's a throwback to our early days, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, today we're going to be talking about First Reformed. Spoiler talk. Yes. It's available on Netflix at the moment, so do go and check it out if you have that. It's quite a watch.
It is quite a watch. Yes, we will be getting onto that shortly. Let's have a quick Bicky chat, Alfie. I don't have any biscuits with me.
I honestly don't either, which is really annoying. And the problem is that we're still on the custard creams. I probably should, biscuits tend to go pretty quickly, but it's like I've literally just had dinner, so I haven't had the chance to anyway. So it's half term at the minute, so I've been enjoying my sort of peace and quiet, I guess.
Of course, yeah.
I had this sewn onto my camera bag, and it's sort of like it's a little throwback.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. For those who don't know, we've had a little bit of a history with that specific logo.
It was our old logo, wasn't it?
With a blue tongue to fit the aesthetic of the loudmouth colours. Probably wasn't the best choice, considering that it is owned by a quite big rock group.
Little bit, it's sort of quite underground.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
You might not have heard of them. The Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, like some weird indie crap. Yeah. So, how have you been spending your time since last week?
I've been spending it. I'm guessing not far off from how you've been spending it. Mind you, you've been out on a few socially distant walks, haven't you?
I've done a lot more drinking than
so I've heard
than I normally do. I found myself at the quite late night, like someone's garden. We were 2 meters apart, but
yes.
Obviously, this is our mate, and I was quite actually like there's sort of quite a few of us, but everyone sort of dwindled off, went home, and I found it was just me from my house. Like mum, dad had gone back, and then my mate's dad and older brother, and we were just kind of sitting out there in the fire, and it was nice actually because he's just he's going back to his university today, so he'll be there. So it's kind of like his last night, and I just felt, well, I'll make sure I don't overstay my welcome, but I'd quite like to hang on for a little while. But we've got something planned, haven't we? Monday.
Yeah, Monday we're seeing a few other people.
Because obviously distanced. Because obviously it's up to 6 now, isn't it?
Yeah. Up to 6
so
people can now meet.
We're sort of
in and out
stand around in a park in a sort of like weird circle.
Like
it's like an ice-breaking activity.
Some cult in deck chairs.
Are we coming to Luke and I's?
Area. We're going
that.
Luke's, I think.
Oh, that's good. I don't have to beg for a lift because these days you can't get public transport, can you?
Yeah, I probably should have messaged you about that, but yeah.
Luke told me, so I just figured, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's good. That means I have to travel.
Yeah, exactly. We might head out of the farm area and head some other place.
Well, I actually thought that we were going to be going to the Court Meadow, the big field. Oh, there he is.
Here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Brown is here.
And he's muted himself.
And he's got wet hair.
I still can't hear you.
We can't hear you. Oh, dear. Oh, it's because of your headphones. It's because of your mic on your headphones, isn't it? You haven't connected to your mic. Oh, no.
Bingo.
There we are.
There we are.
We're back now.
So yeah, Luke, where have you been? Huh?
What have you been doing?
Where have you been?
God,
we're fucking half an hour late anyway.
That was a bit.
Our one viewer is going to be really disappointed.
Exactly.
We've actually got 4 people watching right now, and I noticed we've got Jersey Boy.
I haven't been looking in the comments.
You got Jersey Boy in the comments.
We have.
Oh, that's a throwback, isn't it?
Old face of the old podcast from back in the day.
Anyway,
quite a long time
ago. We've got Liv. Our number one fan, Liv.
Our number one fan.
Shout out, Liv. She's.
I was down in Rye a minute ago, and I quickly raced back.
As soon as you said that you were in Rye, I was like, I checked the distance from your place, and I was like, he's not going to make it back in time.
Because I was downstairs having dinner, and I said, "Oh, well, I should be going to the podcast now." But Luke's in Robertsbridge, and she's like, "Mum's like, oh, it's only 20 minutes." I was thinking, "Oh Christ, like this is going to be a while."
Yeah, it was.
But anyway, Jersey.
But we're here. We didn't do the stream yesterday because me and Alfie had a bit of a hiatus for that yesterday's schedule.
Alfie's just been explaining that,
Yeah,
I was listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite a nice day out. Well, I say day out. It was quite a nice gathering, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, it was a nice little.
Well, I mean,
the shitmobile. No, because that's not social distancing. As much as I really want to go in Luke's car, which I think you need to talk about.
You got to witness the Nissan Micra.
I've seen it, but I obviously can't go in it because that's not.
I can't wait
2
to
meters.
see this on Monday. I can't.
This is amazing. Luke, would you mind explaining?
I will.
Yeah.
So recently, I made a new little purchase of a new vehicle.
You definitely did.
This is something which is unique. Wouldn't say one of a kind because there's fucking thousands of them. But it's certainly a little gem. And it is my new Nissan Micra.
Yeah. For all the petrol heads there, do you want to say some stats? You know?
Well, the stats are pretty to the floor. It's got a 999 engine in it. It's basically a 1 litre.
Yeah.
I've got a picture of it here. Let's see if I can get it up.
Can you tell us about how you acquired it and who you acquired it from?
I acquired it off of an. I acquired it off of an elderly woman, so it was an elderly woman's car.
Didn't pay for it either. You just took it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not in Luke's budget. Really.
What's she gonna do? Run after him?
So obviously, the clutch was a little bit shot, because grannies love to freewheel and ride the clutch.
They do.
Yeah, my gran is quite a. She likes to push a lot when she's driving. She's like, some people are like, I think it's a stereotype for grans to be like quite slow. My gran isn't. She's like to like practically tailgating, where you're like right up against the car in front. I can't remember the phrase, but it's like when people like follow police cars. It's like that, except just with every car, and it's scary.
Well, when my gran used to drive, very terrifying times. She
look, I'm behind the wheel.
I used to drive like a mad woman. I used to bloody put my foot down and fucking speed wherever I'm going. So she would she have a tendency to put her foot down. But I was thinking when I was in the car, when we used to get in my gran's car, I used to think, fuck me, this is where I'm going to die. I didn't.
We have an old lady in our village who has this clear back problem. She walks around with her head constantly looking around, and she's still driving around the village, but she's always going at like.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Ryan, I've been telling you that's what you'll be doing if you don't look after your back and sit up straight.
Yeah, you should get one of those posture correctors. I've got one. They're really good.
Corrector.
Yeah, I'll see if I find it if you want. Hold on.
Oh, he's getting props out. But yeah, go on, Luke. Carry on with the acquiring of it.
Yeah, so it was a bit of an impromptu purchase, if anything, really. And I bought it not thinking, just with my mind, and it's hilarious. The whole thing is hilarious. It's a complete joke, it's brilliant. And it's brilliant because of it. I mean, I thought to myself, well, I'll only have it for like a year, and we'll see what we get afterwards.
Yeah. So
I
this,
also got a. Oh,
He's got
what's
a
this?
posture corrector.
this is my posture corrector. I don't use it
That's
so
a
much
seat
anymore.
belt.
Yeah, it looks like, you know how like in like films and that, like detectives have got this under their shirt with their gun.
Yeah,
It's like that. It looks really so. It's really bizarre. And I remember wearing it to college one day, like underneath my jumper, and I took my jumper off in the performance rooms, and I was like, "What the fuck is he wearing?" So basically,
He's wearing a bomb.
Well, that ties into a
just
film
give me the fucking, give me a Mac and I'll leave. But yeah,
Alfie was
I'll give a
actually an
demonstration.
expert in,
So what
Alfie
it
was
is
in First Reform.
is you sort of like wrap it around like that, like a backpack. Hold on, Christ, here we go. And then
Hello.
sort of-
Yeah. He seems to be putting on some kind of explosive device. Yeah, I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what it is.
yeah, and then you just like pull at the tags, and it sort of, I can't really explain it. It just shifts your back up a bit, and it stops you from slouching. Because when you slouch, you sort of you feel yourself going like that, and then you straighten up. But yeah, it works a treat. It's really good.
Fair enough.
I know you see like a lot of shit on like Instagram, like ads, and it's just like bollocks, like you just would never use, but it's actually decent.
Alfie bought it from Wish.
Did you buy it from Wish?
No, I think I got it from Amazon, which is actually probably worse. But
There's actually dust on my headphones.
Christ, yeah.
Look at that.
Now
Well,
I also
the abuse you give these headphones, it doesn't surprise me at all.
no, I've also this week had a quarantine haircut.
Yeah, I know. I'm really jealous. We've just ordered some clippers.
You're gonna give a
Oh,
shout
really?
out to your barber.
My barber Will Can, shout out to Will Can. Did a fab job. He did.
Yeah, I think my mum's gonna cut my hair, which is gonna be interesting, but we'll see. Won't we? We'll see. It'll be a line in the middle. If that happens,
No, in the
Alfie,
Alfie in the end, she'll just go, "Oops, I slipped. Let's just take it all off."
Yeah, exactly. If that happens, it's all going.
I mean, it could be worse. It
could be worse. Yeah,
you could have Alfie cutting your hair. I mean, the dyspraxia might get in the way a bit.
That's a bit insulting, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I'd throw.
I know.
A little jab,
yeah,
especially
Ryan,
after I clearly gave you that haircut.
All right. Fair dues. So, boys, is it time?
Well, I was going to say, if Ryan cut your hair, his girth would be too far away, so he wouldn't go to
Right. Is it time to talk about the film?
Segue into this week's film.
Yes. Well,
sorry, this microphone is really itchy.
After Alfie's bomb jacket, it makes so much sense to go into this.
Yeah, it's on theme.
Yeah, exactly. So so this week's film was First Reformed, film from 2017, starring.
Just gonna get the IMDb up.
Yeah, starring Ethan Hawke, who plays a priest who gets involved with a couple, which one of them is slightly leaning towards environmental extremism. And he slowly becomes intertwined with their dark world. Spoilers, of course, before we get into things. This was my recommendation this week. The boys, neither of them have seen this before. So this will be interesting. I think you guys both watched it like at the same time. I don't know whether that was intentional or not. Was it?
No. I was just watching it with my mum. Like we just needed a film to watch, so we just put it on.
And so yeah, I'm interested in what you guys think. I made it clear in the last episode. This is one of my top 10 faves of all time.
Do you want to bring the microphone to your face, Ryan?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did make this clear. This is like one of my favorites of all time. So this was a big interesting choice for what you guys were going to think. So yeah, go ahead. I'm interested in what you have to say.
Interesting.
It
was interesting.
Is that
in a good way and in a bad way? It was unique.
I mean, you gave it a very generous rating on Letterboxd.
Yeah, so did I.
I felt like it deserved it. It was warranted. Certainly.
It wasn't a bad movie by any regard, I don't think.
Alfie, why don't you give us your?
Luke's just trying to head into the cons straight away, but
should we do pros first?
Alfie, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I watched it quite early on, which is not normally what I do. I sometimes have literally just sat down to this podcast. I've watched it, but yeah. So I really liked a lot of aspects about this film. I thought Ethan Hawke was really good.
very good. Yeah.
It's just again like a very believable actor, and he doesn't have
lead.
And it doesn't have the thing. It's not like one of those times where you just see a famous person, see the famous person, you see the priest. I thought some of the shot composition was very lovely, very minimalist, and that you could kind of see that. But I think it's quite intentional, and I think the way the director, I can't remember the name, Paul
Schrader. So
Paul Schrader.
He was the screenwriter on Raging Bull and Taxi Driver.
Yeah,
one of his few movies where he also directed, but they haven't been as successful as this one, to say the least.
No. And I thought the use of the sort of aspect ratio that it really isn't used these days that much, unless you're a Wes Anderson. I thought that was
in 4:3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, right, that's a thing that's happening. Which I didn't know why, but I guess it's this artistic choice.
I think it was
as like the way of showing this very confined, lonely person, and like so close.
I think you're Ryan. Ryan, I think you're reading into it too much.
I'm not really reading into it too much at all, Luke. Hold on, let me explain. The whole journey is very personal for the character. He goes through a lot of hardships, and to get the audience to feel what he's feeling, you've got to be on his side through the thick of it. That's probably it probably comes into play most when he finds the dead body of Michael in the forest, I think. Because you see, like, it's a very slow reveal. You have all these like slow close-ups of him walking up to the body, and you just hold on it for a minute. You don't know what you've seen, and then the
reveal. I disagree. I think the aspect ratio is just a stylistic choice, and it was purely just to sort of set the tone. Composition wise, one of the things that I noticed was there was a scene where he sat at his desk, and it's filmed from in the like living room area of his house, so you can see him in the doorway.
Yeah,
I think
wait, let me finish. I'm about to give it. I'm not
flagging you off. I'm just
I'm about to give you the punchline. And what it does is it makes him look small because he's framed basically within this doorway, but we see this whole room. So he looks smaller. And they did this in Up as well. When she finds out that she's got cancer, I know this is an animation, but visually it has a lot of elements of real cinematography, and it makes him look smaller to emphasize how he feels, and he's lonely, which is a big part of this film, which they try and drive home.
I know you said you weren't a fan of the magical mystery tour scene, Luke. I'm interested on what you thought of that.
The magical mystery tour.
The bit where they lie on top of each other on the green screen.
Yeah. So
it's one of my favorite scenes, but I know you were annoyed by its technical aspects.
Yeah, it looked like shit, I think.
Well, other than the fact it looked like it was filmed on a potato, it just completely ruined that scene for me.
But isn't that the point?
It took the piss a bit.
Well, no, I think the whole point is to emphasize that this is the dreamlike state they're in whilst they're having all these thoughts, because she makes it clear early on in the film that she is on she has the same beliefs as Michael did before he killed himself, and but she does.
I thought he did.
She never wanted to go to the same extremes as he did, but obviously Reverend Toller slowly begins to slip into this lifestyle, and you can imagine at certain points there's like the more extreme parts which he's imagining, and the softer, more tranquil places she is. So I think she has a little bit more of an optimistic attitude, but still having this sense of dread.
Yeah, I mean, I the only reason why I didn't like that scene is because I felt like it added stuff, but it didn't add anything for me. If anything, I feel like it subtracted what I already felt for the film up to that point. So when I saw it,
you're a technical guy. You look for all the
I do, and but at the same time, it's part of the narrative. It's part of telling the story, and I feel like if you ruin it, it didn't. Don't get me wrong, it didn't ruin it for me because I still enjoyed the rest of the film. It was long though, but it was just. It felt like it was like it just felt like it was a piss take, and it didn't feel right. I don't know. They're just the crappy because it was all stock footage as well, which is the other thing that pissed me off. You could tell it was stock footage because it all looked different. It is. I'm telling you.
There is behind the scenes footage of them going out to shoot the stuff, which is
well, then they didn't shoot it in a way that
they didn't shoot it on the same stuff they shot the actual film on. You can tell, like from behind the scenes, but
yeah.
I think I don't think I dislike it as much as Luke did, but I do think I remember seeing it and I could like let it past, but I do remember thinking, right, that was an interesting choice. And I think part of the just obvious, even if it wasn't stock footage, the way it looks like it was stock footage, I don't think quite the same effort was put in to make it blend with the film, because there was a lot. I don't know, because a lot of the film is quite bleak and the colors are quite bleak and there's saturated and
it's flat.
It's flat. It's a flat color palette. But when you sort of, and maybe it was the point was that we sort of have a look at all these bright and vibrant part of the world, basically.
That's one.
But I feel like if they didn't,
where
they could have made it a lot more immersive if they had just not stuck them, maybe just not even stuck them in front of a green screen. I feel like they could have maybe been more inventive with it, maybe even get them
I think it might have been a cooler idea is if the camera went into their eyes and we could see the reflection of what the green screen shows and then cut to the green screen flyovers. And then keep cutting back and forth to the eyes, and because it's meant to be like a trance.
Well, let's get on to probably what my favorite scene is in the whole film. Very early on, it's the scene where Reverend Toller has his first conversation with Michael. I hope I am remembering his name right. He is called Michael, but but they have the discussion at his home where obviously Toller is introduced to all the environmental activism that Michael has been doing, and this is sort of like the start where his faith starts to split, and I don't know, that scene I think is perfectly executed. Like both performances are great. The conversation is also like really realistic and awkward in places. Reverend Toller's like a really antisocial person, and you can constantly see him like stuttering and being awkward around people. All right, bitches. But yeah, what do you guys think of that scene?
No, I really like that scene. I think I don't think I could add anything. I thought it was brilliant. It's interesting watching him at first being like, "Oh no, don't worry about it. It's nothing." And then the more he sort of talks, the more you can see how like he sort of grows more partial to his ideas and beliefs. And then we and then throughout the film, when you see him do more research, it kind of makes sense. Like it looks right, if that adds up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a really great line in the church when the choir teacher, I forget her name, but
it was his ex-wife.
Yeah, she says to him, remember when everything was ahead of you, which I noted down, and like the double meaning, because like they're talking about obviously the teenage choir students. But yeah, I thought that was a very, very clever use of dialogue. Shall we talk about the final moments of the film?
Yeah, I think it's hard not to.
I think Luke is quite desperate to talk about this. We had a little chat about it, but I'm interested to what he has to say.
The final scene.
Because
I think first of all,
wanted him to do something. You wanted him.
Well, first of all, we've got to go back to the scene where they're in the cafe and they're talking about the First Reform's 250th anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
And we're introduced to a new antagonist character, and he is also what's his name again in this?
Oh, Reverend Toller.
No, the bald guy.
Oh, the bald guy.
Bulk.
He doesn't matter.
Yeah, Bulk Industries. Bulk Industries. So we're introduced to this guy. I can't remember what his first name is, but I know that his business is called Bulk Industries, which is basically what's the church called? The main big church?
Oh, I forget what it's called. You hold on. I'll look it up. But carry on.
So basically, the main church is there as well. That's sort of hosting this with First Reformed, and I feel like we're then introduced to this main antagonist, who is this arrogant, dominant character who is deliberately written to piss off the audience and make us hate him. And this sets it up for later on when we find out what Reverend Toller wants to do.
Yeah.
And this is the bonus part, because at the end we build to this sort of climactic thing where everything's sort of starting to fall into place. This is probably a couple of scenes. The ending's a couple of scenes after the bit where they have their weird sort of sensei lying on top of each other bit.
It's Abundant Light. That's the name of the big church.
Abundant Light. So basically, the 250th anniversary, the church is normally completely dead. It's normally completely empty. There's normally about 2 people in there. But because it's its 250th anniversary, and Abundant Light is the main organization church, they bring all the people because it's sort of a big celebration, all that crap. And so we get to the understanding of what Reverend Toller is feeling when the main black guy, who's the main
the guy I know you're talking about.
He's played by Cedric the Entertainer, who plays the lemur from Madagascar, Maurice.
Yes.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I will never I wish you hadn't told me that, Ryan, because now if I ever find myself watching that film again, I'm just gonna. I like to move it. I like to. And now I'm just gonna think of that always.
So after we're introduced to them, and he's told him that they're not going to. He's not going to be introduced until later on. Sorry. We know it's going to start to get a little bit sided. So we start to get a feeling of this sort of hate that's building. And it's sort of making us realise that something is sort of building up in the background.
Yeah.
And then we're introduced to the fact, or the idea, I should say, that Reverend Toller still has the suicide vest.
Yeah.
So in his sort of, I think it was like a wicked sort of idea, and in the church they'd call it like some sort of the devil's taken over or something. Yeah. We're given this idea that he's thinking, and we're sharing with him because we feel very similarly to how he does, because that's how they wrote it, to make us feel in the same way. So we see him put on the suicide vest underneath his priest shawl or whatever it's called.
And the robe or whatever.
And he's for those few minutes when he's looking in the mirror, we can see what he's feeling. And it keeps on cutting back and forth to the main ceremony to build the tension of, is he going to do it? And I mean, I'm not going to lie. I thought to you after I saw that was it. He was going to blow the roof off that place.
Yeah.
Well, but was it? Did he do it? That's the thing, because he obviously sees the girl who he's been talking to, the widow of Michael. I forget the character's name again, but she's played by Amanda Seyfried. And she's obviously turned up at the church, and he's about to obviously blow it up. But he changes his mind at the last second, manages to get the bomb vest off, and wraps himself up in barbed wire. and is prepared to chug like some petrol fluid or something. And at the last
drain cleaner.
Yeah, drain cleaner. That was it. Yeah, and at the last moment, she comes in, and he thinks, forget everything. I just want to be with her, and they passionately kiss, and then the film's over. But how I don't think that actually happened, because obviously he's got the barbed wire still on him under his clothes. That would have definitely hurt her.
Or him.
Or him, exactly. Everything sort of with that starts to happen as soon as the choir teacher starts singing in the church. So it feels almost ethereal and off. It feels like she's sort of conveying the themes that it's showing with the lyrics in the song. I can't remember what they were. I'll have to go back.
Okay, that's quite that's interesting, because I didn't get that when I watched it. I didn't think that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a good way of looking at it.
Well, I think it's also like it's saying, it's trying to end on a little bit of a positive message, but it's also had all this dread throughout the film, and I think it's trying to say it's like finding like solace in what you have already, like even if there is this bad stuff going on, love triumphs all or whatever. But it could go either way. That's like, I think the director has said before that like he does it, like he does blow up the church, but I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in some interview online I saw a while ago.
Yeah, I know, but I don't listen to any of that stuff. When like people go, "Oh, people
exactly form your own opinion with."
When people, when you get like the people to like answer the questions, like what happened to, they just make stuff up on the top. It's not like if they actually wanted to convey that in the film, they would. People just ask. They probably just get asked it so many times that they just come up with something on that day. I don't take any of it for like canon or whatever.
But would it also be more interesting though, like if they hadn't shown it? Because like that leaves more things to talk about.
Exactly, that's exactly the point. And the fact that he answers it, ruins the mystery. It's like Tarantino will never say what's inside the case in Pulp Fiction.
Exactly.
And the people get so fixated that they even ask him in interviews. They go, "What's inside the case?" And he goes, "I don't know."
Yeah,
we don't know.
Yep. And that's the point. And I don't like it when filmmakers will make a film and have a little bit of like mystery or something to think about, and then just go on an interview and say, "Oh, yeah, he did blow up the church. Yeah, it's all a dream."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think he actually means that. I just think he's coming up with something because he gets asked. He's gonna get asked for the rest of his.
And because people are like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah."
That's something. Just to give a little shout out to the guy. That's something David Lynch does very well. He never gives anything away about his films, but he gives you all the information he wants you to know, and leaves the rest up to your own interpretation, which is great.
So, I thought the ending was quite. Whoa, like, okay, this is gonna.
It's very sudden, and the kiss goes on for like a good minute and a
half. Kiss go for ages.
Oh, I thought I had a power cut because it just goes black.
Yeah.
For ages. For ages, it just goes black, and I was like, "Is that broken?"
Yeah. Yeah, because the music dies down as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it goes to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I gave it a 4-star.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I gave it 4.5. I think I'll check, but I think I'm fairly certain it was 4.5. Yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. It's a really good movie.
And I feel like this needs to be mentioned now. In other news, Ryan Perry.
Hold on. We'll get into that in a second. That's a whole other topic.
I know what you're talking about.
Let's let's wrap up on this segment first.
Okay.
So
sorry, I was getting carried away.
So rating, I'm 4.5.
5 out of 5. Go on, Luke.
I've already said 4.
4.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's our official ratings.
So
for more, check out our letterbox.
Oh yeah. Actually, we should probably start plugging our letterboxes a bit more as well.
Yeah, probably. Listen, it's literally just Alfie Akers. Like you can find
Prime
me.
P Studios, yeah, same here.
If you find one of us, you find all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, because we're like us and Liv are like the only people who follow me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so next week's film, Luke
you're going to
has
do that.
chosen. Well, I mean,
it's a
I
joint
recommended
choice.
it to you, sort of, yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I thought it was absolutely
I'd seen
brilliant.
the film before, but Luke hadn't up until this point. So
it's called No Country for Old Men. It came out a couple of years ago now, but it is a quality piece of cinema.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
It's got I always forget his name.
Javier Bardem.
Javier. Huh?
Oh, him.
What's his name?
Javier Bardem.
I don't think it's Javier.
It is.
Javier Bardem. Something like that.
And it's also got Josh Brolin in it as well.
Huh?
Josh Brolin.
It's got who?
Josh
Brolin.
Brolin.
And it's also got the famous Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson? I don't remember him being in the film.
Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a mind fuck today.
All right.
No, what's his name? 3 Billboards guy.
Sam Rockwell? I don't know what you're.
No, that is Woody Harrelson. It's Woody Harrelson.
Yeah,
he's in the movie.
I was right. Yes. I was right the whole time. You made me look like
Tommy Lee Jones, apparently.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah,
he's great in it.
Oh yeah,
it is an absolute quality watch, and I'm telling you, after 2 hours, you'll want more. So that is next week's film.
Yeah. So
and it was probably one of the best recommendations Ryan's done in a long time.
Oh, all right.
Oh my god, it's got on the 4 people I follow on Xbox, it's 5-star across the board.
Yeah, exactly. Also on it's on Amazon Prime in England, don't know where else, but
I think it's on Netflix.
It's not like we've got viewers from outside of the UK.
Yeah.
but yes.
All right, well, that's film chat.
Well, I'd like to segue into the segment which I've been wanting to talk about today on this episode, because I feel like it's slightly been impromptu rushed this week, because I wanted to sort of watch this with you, Ryan. It's a film which I favour a lot, and if you're a long time viewer of this podcast, you would know about it because it's been brought up in a few episodes, and that is Inception by Christopher Nolan. Ryan has always had a huge criticism about the film. He's never liked it. He's never felt stronger than a 2.5 stars for it.
I've never hated it. I just don't.
And his excuse was, when he was a 12-year-old, was the dialogue was appalling.
And some of it still is. Some of it really still is.
So recently, Ryan gave it a rewatch and has now changed his mind about what he thinks of it, and he's now joined the group of people who absolutely love the film.
like Inception.
Yeah,
I remember on your Twitter, I was like, "Welcome to the good fight."
I know, I saw that,
and I think as well, it's very much changed my idea of what you thought of it, because it came as a shock.
So Ryan, what's changed? What made you like Inception?
Well, I find the story a lot more interesting now. I think also before I had a little bit of a hatred for unlikable protagonists, but looking at it again, Cobb is a more well-rounded character, although he does have a terrible, laughable name. So I just refer to him as Leo.
Yeah,
God.
Yeah, what they think when they came out with that one.
I found the story a lot more exciting as well. I have a sort of thing where I was like, oh, it's just sci-fi schlock. I don't know. I had that preconception about it, but I don't know. It just clicked with me a lot more this time, and I think sometimes it can be a case of like the mood you watch it in or whatever, or how you watch it. I don't know. I just enjoyed it a lot more. I will just say though, a lot of bad uses of dialogue still, and there's a terrible, awful performance from the guy who plays Cillian Murphy's uncle. Yeah, his uncle. It is a dreadful performance. There's a scene because Tom Hardy as Eames, he's like the actor in the to the film, and there's a scene where he transforms into Cillian Murphy's uncle. And, he's obviously trying to get him like worried because at this point, you know, they've got him hostage in his dream, and like and he turns to obviously get the sound coming to wherever he is in the building. And he screams, and it's one of the most funniest things I've ever seen. It's not very good. Also, a few little dated uses of special effects, but again, what can you do? It's just product.
Better than the Dark Knight.
Oh yeah. There's a moment where Leo and Ariadne, I think I've got the name right that time.
You have.
I kept messing up.
What is the actress, the small woman? Ellen Page, that's it.
Yeah, when
woman.
Sort of both.
What is that small girl woman?
Well, she's sort of like supposed to be like like 17 in it or something, or 18 or
something like that.
20?
She might even be in her 20s.
She looks.
She's in uni.
She looks. Honestly, it's been a while since I've watched this film.
Yeah, no. So there's that scene where where her and Leo start walking up the city after it's folded in, and as they transition, that didn't look particularly good. But hey,
yeah,
still a big fat 4.5. It's a first reformed Alfie rating for me.
That's the big thing.
Yeah,
that's the big change.
Yeah, so a lot of it. But yeah,
which I think is it's a pleasant surprise actually, because I was expecting you to probably maximum give it a 3.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's been a long time, and when I rewatched it, I enjoyed it a lot more.
And also, I think you're a naive 12-year-old.
Also, come on, that's a bit harsh. But
I think it's true.
Well, I mean, yeah, it could be true, but I don't know. I still enjoyed a lot of similar like Nolan films back then. Like Dark Knight is not far off from the tone of this. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the guy who I was when I was at school. I played in the orchestra for a little while, and I remember the guy there. He was a big classical music fan. That's all he listened to, and I remember him saying his profound hatred, for Hans Zimmer. He hated Hans Zimmer because he said all his music sounds the same. Oh, and then I thought about it, and he's got a point.
Well, I wouldn't say so.
I wouldn't say it all sounds the same, but
his Nolan scores are all very.
His Nolan scores are very similar,
but they're
except for maybe Interstellar. But I don't like his score on that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'll point it out, and like this film needs as much appreciation as possible, but the Rango soundtrack is
oh my
amazing. God. no, but hear me out.
Are we talking about fucking Rango again?
No, but listen.
All the time, he loves to bring Rango up.
But it's great.
God, it's not that good.
Johnny Depp, role of a lifetime.
Yes. Well, maybe.
I know. Listen, I know it's good, but like, come on, it's fucking Rango.
No, but the soundtrack is great. If you haven't heard,
I'm listening, mate. I watched it when I was like 12, so I don't remember it at all. Oh no, younger even. I think I watched it when I was like 10.
Give it a rewatch.
Yeah. But like, I guess I like Hans Zimmer, and I think he can sometimes bring a fresh. He can sometimes do. He uses stuff in his music that typical score writers don't use. Like he just doesn't stick to the classical like orchestra. He does try to experiment, and you should see his studio. It's like full of synths and drum pads, and I think it works with like Ableton and Write stuff and that. So he's very much of the century, because I know he made a song with oh god, what's his face? Alan Walker. You know, that EDM guy. Right, yeah. He made a song. He made like a remix, and I feel like not a lot of. He's like quite. So I like him for that, but I guess. But nearly every time he does Nolan film, the score is a little bit samey. Except for maybe Interstellar, but again, I don't like the score from Interstellar.
And Rango. I just want to give a shout out to Liv in the chat for backing me up.
I know. Yeah, okay, it's good, but sure, whatever. It's Rango. Like,
No.
It's not going to change my life.
It is a 5 out of 5. It's.
Yeah, it was good. I think.
Maybe a future episode. Maybe. I did bring it up a few weeks ago. Like, oh, shall we do Rango for the film this week? And like, I think it was straight away. No, First Reformed. No way. But
well, anyway. I'm glad I watched First Reformed. That was good.
But yeah, no.
Inception, my favorite quote is, "I am convinced I have no idea how to do your movie."
What?
It's from his masterclass. He's all like, "I'm convinced I have no idea."
What was that? What's that first thing he says at the start? He's just like, he's going.
A note, a question. Ooh,
that was it.
An uncertain question.
It's just like answering a question. A question. An answer.
Ooh. It's
like a naughty question. And then and there's this bit where he goes, sometimes some tissues you need. Like, look, when I did Batman, 2 notes. He just gets his keyboard and just goes, like, he doesn't make the noise as well, but he just goes, and that's it. And that's fucking, but fair play to him, because
he's
done well.
That's good. It's quite intuitive though, isn't it?
He's incredibly pretentious though.
He is.
I mean, if you've ever seen him perform the soundtrack for Inception, Time. It's one of the main songs in the film. There's a bit where basically Hans Zimmer's nowhere to be seen. There's just this whole orchestra, and then there's an entire guitar riff which is like, and of course he comes in with this wireless electric guitar and he's just standing up there, and because it's Hans Zimmer, he goes, "Oh yes, well this is my song. Watch me change it." And he just completely rewrites the guitar riff, and everyone looks at him and they're like, "Oh, it's Hans."
It's Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
There's our little Hans Zimmer rant segment. We'll do that weekly.
Yeah.
I know. I remember the guy was like, but I don't listen to this guy for a lot of opinions on music, because he's like stuck in the 1700s. Like, he'll like only listen to classical music, won't touch anything, and I think
anyone who's a little bit involved
it's
in like
boring
orchestral music is a little bit overly pretentious.
I just think there's so much music. There's a lot of shit music out there, but there's also a lot of good music out there, and you're missing it all. You're missing it all by confining yourself to like one genre.
Yeah,
it's annoying.
But he's made some very solid soundtracks. The Interstellar soundtrack, in particular, Cornfield Chase, is a great one.
I saw Interstellar once, and I've never bothered to repeat it because I don't actually like it. But that's my controversial opinion of the day.
Fair enough. We're not going to go into that one now because we've got too much to talk about that.
Well, speaking of music, I just want to give a quick shout out because I'm looking forward to this, and I know Luke is a little bit, but Run the Jewels 4 comes out next week. We might be able to do a little something on that. If anyone hasn't heard it, give it a...
I don't know anything about that. What's that?
Run the Jewels 4. To make it more obvious for those who don't know, in our inner circle, Ooh La La, the song Luke will not stop playing through his speakers, but
Or maybe we should do, as well as a Loudmouth movie, we should do the Loudmouth album.
Oh yeah, we'll do Run the Jewels 4 for next week.
Run the Jewels 4 next week, and because I find myself sometimes, and I've rediscovered the radio function on Apple Music, and I love
that function. It's great.
So I just found so many songs.
You get some great recommendations.
Just get shit you'll never look for.
Do you mean your personal radio?
Yeah. Well, I just had this song. It's a lovely song. It's "Mystery of Love" from the "Call Me by Your Name" soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the Super Stevens one.
It's a beautiful song. And I just thought, fuck it, I want more like this. So I just stuck the radio on, and I got some great, like, really obscure stuff that I would have never have looked for in my life. And I thought it was great, and I'm definitely just going to do that because I found myself. I don't know about you guys, but I find myself in ruts where I don't have any new music.
Yeah, it can be
don't get
annoying.
that.
I mean,
I do. I found myself this like around this time just not having anything new to listen to, and it's sad.
I think quarantine's kind of been a blessing for new music though, because a lot of artists are pushing themselves.
A lot of artists
I've been
are in their home. I mean, you see
Yeah.
that article where it's like Billie Eilish wrote one song during quarantine.
Well, I look
compare that to Charlie XCX, who wrote a whole album. I mean, come on, Billy, keep up.
I look at artists like Moby. They've started making videos in their spare time, and he's there breaking down.
I saw a video of Moby doing that at the moment. He looks like a wreck, like physically.
He's.
I'm not being funny though, mate. But if you've seen this, we're all not doing very well.
Well, no, exactly. But
I do not listen to the same shit. Thank you very much. I'm not one of these 1917 sheep like yourself.
Oh God! Right. Can someone explain to me why people think 1975 is the next fucking Beatles? I don't get it. I do not fucking get it. I like them. They're all right. They're decent. They're pretty good.
I think their music is complete tripe.
We know what you think, Luke.
For everyone who wants to listen, it comes out on next Friday, so we'll be listening to.
All right, so
not
this week, but the next week after. Instead of doing a film, we could do an album, or we could do a film or an album.
Well, I mean, we could do film and album for next week, and we can
change it
after. But
like,
yes, recommend.
Oh God, I know I'm going to get an argument in the comments. Liv here. I like 1975. That's fucking bullshit, Liv, and you know it. Twitter, all I get nowadays is fucking 1975. Like, oh, they're the best fucking album in the world, and it's like, come on, like they're not that good. Like they're good, but they're not that good. I don't know.
Settle down.
All right, let's cool.
Listen, I like them too.
Let's cool the heat. Next week,
I just think people treat them like.
Stop it!
I think people hold them in like a regard that's just above what they are.
All right.
That's all I've got to say. I think they're a bit overrated. That's the word. I think they're a bit overrated. I still like them. I've only heard one of their albums, but I still like them.
Lovely.
You can take it off me now.
Each to their own, I guess.
Each to their own. What do I know? I like some really bad songs, but I like them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh. Anyway, settle down.
Stop, Luke. So next week.
All right, fine. I'll give it a go.
Next week, our film is No Country for Old Men. Our album is Run the Jewels 4, which is out Friday midnight from Thursday. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
quality. Today's been a slightly rushed stream.
Shall we give a little wrap up, a little mini catch up? We've got some things planned next week that we're going to be doing.
Yeah. What you guys doing?
I mean, Monday.
What are you up to?
We'll be very excited.
Monday.
Well, we're going to see Ryan in person on Monday. It's been months.
We're going to see Ryan in person. I haven't seen you in
nearly 3 months.
Yeah, I know.
I
think last time I saw you boys was January, something like that.
Yeah, that was fucking. That's fucking crazy.
It feels so far like long ago, but yeah, and we'll have a few other people joining us.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago actually. It'll be nice to catch up with people. I've slowly been sort of re-meeting up with people that I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about Corona here because no one wants to fucking hear more about coronavirus.
It's just boring.
But it's boring, isn't it? No, I don't care. I'm not. We're not a politics show.
So let's not talk about the coronavirus.
Yeah, right. We're not a politics show, but it's nice. It's nice to just talk about it's nice to see people and start getting used to the.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be nice. New rules coming
even
out.
If it'll feel a little bit strange at first, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be Ryan's first time out the house.
I have been at the house during the lockdown a few times.
Have you?
Ryan's got makeup on. He's actually like Voldemort at the minute.
Yeah, KFC doesn't count. KFC doesn't count, Ryan.
Not KFC. Contrary to what Luke thinks, I I have been out. I
Well,
have been out and about.
Luke, I think we're quite lucky at the minute, really.
We are.
We live
I mean,
in the fucking middle of nowhere. And it's easy for us to avoid people. Like, we can go out all day and not have to meet a single person if we wanted to.
And also, we have the pleasure of living less than 2 minutes away.
Yeah, well, that too. That's very lucky.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna meet. I can go down to your farm. You know,
the farm.
whatever, or whatever. You guys were in my back garden the other night.
We were socially distanced.
Socially distanced. You were on the other side, basically. It's so bad. I remember because after that we went out and we weren't back till like another day. And I noticed we still left loads of beer cans and bottles all over the garden. I thought that's such redneck. That's such redneck behaviour. Like, that's really not on. It's like so we're doing some work in the garden in a minute, and it's like a sort of trench dug out. It was just beer bottles inside. It's so bad.
It's so like 1975.
I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the statement. I don't
don't even know what that means.
I think he's got a trench in his garden.
I don't even know what I mean.
I'll tell you,
anyway.
if we're still up for doing a little bit of film talk, I'm not sure if you guys are in the mood, but if you are, I watched one of your recommendations, Ryan, the other day.
Oh,
Good
which
time.
one? Oh, what did you think?
I really liked it. It's really good.
It's very good.
I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to spoil it, but check out Good Time. If you liked Uncut Gems, you'll really like Good Time.
Oh,
it's like Uncut Gems with all the fat trimmed off.
Yeah, it's.
I was looking for a little guilty pleasure film the other day, so I thought, I fancy something which doesn't take much brain capacity. I'm looking for something which is pass the time easily. So I thought, what was that crappy film called? That was what I was thinking to myself, and I was like, Ad Astra. That's what it's called. It's the one with Brad Pitt in it, and the main sheriff from No Country for Old Men.
I do know what you mean. You were looking for a chill film, isn't that film a proper heavy science fiction? It's like
but it doesn't take much mental brain capacity though.
I must say, if I had a film that I call like brain dead entertainment, I don't think I'd stick on Ad Astra.
No, definitely not.
I'd stick on Raiders or something. Like,
well, I just got back from the other night, and I just thought, you know what, I fancy watching a bit of something science fiction-y, something sort of cheap and tacky.
Space having daddy issues.
It wasn't actually that bad. I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it huge reviews.
Speaking of daddy issues, I've started rewatching Mr. Robot. Shout out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really.
Just thought I'd bring it up.
Haven't been hooked on the new series.
I'm very excited for the new series. I hear it's a lot like Sam Esmail's other series, Homecoming. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm slowly making my way through Killing Eve, and it sucks so much.
Season 3 seems like it's a bit of a drag.
It's so bad. Well, it's not terrible.
It's by a different writer each season, isn't it?
Well, yeah, the first series.
But the problem is it's fucking boring. There's nothing.
But why are you still watching it?
Because I want to see it. Because I want to see it out to the end. And it's only like 8 episodes long.
Is it the final series then? The third one.
I hope so.
And have you got a Breaking Bad dilemma going on? So you got to the middle. No,
because Breaking Bad is good, and that I know it's good, but it's that Breaking Bad is my own personal problems. Killing Eve, it just isn't good. The new season is really not good. It's so slow, and there's a lot of plot points, like subplots, that seem to just disperse everywhere, and they don't really seem to link or tie up. It's like really dull, and there's a lot of so I'm not going to spoil anything, but they've killed off certain characters to add shock value because they can't really come up with anything else. So they're killing off certain characters to sort of make us go, oh wow, that's so deep. But I don't care, and that's sad, really. I think they really cocked it up this season, and I'm really not enjoying it.
I mean,
so
from
far.
what I heard, it was a bit downhill completely after series 1. They had
series 1 and 2 were very good. Series 1 was amazing. Series 2 was also very good. The series 3, There's nothing to it, really. That's the sad bit. Is there's just nothing. There's nothing that makes me want to watch another episode. The only reason I'm watching it is because my mum and dad watched it with me, and they like it. But it's really boring. So don't watch Killing Eve season 3, or do if you're a fan, but you wouldn't be after you've seen it.
Fair enough.
Alternatively, watch Fleabag.
I haven't seen that. Is it funny?
It's the best thing like that Phoebe Waller-Bridge has done, especially series 2.
Didn't she have a stage play about it?
Yeah, the stage plays like on Amazon Prime now for £4, and the donations are going to coronavirus charity, so that's worth it. I haven't done it just yet, but I'm thinking about watching that at some point soon. But series 1 and 2 of Fleabag,
yeah, I've heard Mr. Robot's good as well.
Mr. Robot is bliss.
I want to watch that.
I'm just on the final episode of series 1 at the moment, and like reliving all the twists in the first series is so great.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
I found myself. I'm rewatching Strange Things series 3 in a minute because my dad's watching it, so I watched it with him.
Right.
The only good one out of the stuff after series 1. Series 2.
Series 2 was dire. But you know,
what about
I'm watching series 3.
What about rewatching PJDN? Your dad like that?
PJDN.
Yeah, I might do.
A modern masterpiece.
But, I'm watching it, and I don't like it as much this time around.
PJDN?
Maybe it's because I'm about halfway through. It's not bad, but I guess it feels very different to its roots. And I suppose you've got to make if you're going to make a comeback, you've got to make it different, and you've got to develop the characters. And I guess after the magical first season, nothing can really.
I follow Asim Chaudhry on Instagram, and I saw him posting on his story the other day. He's actually got the original webisodes on his computer.
Oh, I watched them. I watched them recently.
And I'm really hoping he releases them like a higher quality version, because I'm pretty sure the ones that are out.
They're all right on YouTube.
Where can you find them?
It's their old.
Isn't that when he was going as MC Sniper?
Yeah, MC Sniper days.
See, I was just talking about Strange Things the entire time, but I didn't realize you guys were on People Just Do Nothing.
No, we thought you were still on about that, because I was going to.
Yeah, well, People Do Nothing. I don't think what was it? Series 4.
Series 4.
You haven't seen that, I don't think.
I don't think I finished it.
I was going to say, there's 5 series.
Yeah. I don't know if I finished it or not.
So I was a bit worried then when you said that. I was like,
no, I was talking about Strange Things.
I was talking
about Strange Things, which did also have a dire second season.
I was going to say it's not really got that many dips, because Alfred's like, yes, it's awful.
I think if you have to pick a weak season of PJDN, it's probably the 4th one, because like there's that dip where obviously Mish and Grinder break up. It's not a major spoiler, but like it's the slow progress of them rekindling their relationship. But I find
the novelty of it died after a little while.
Oh really?
Because it was when I saw it, I was like, "This is fucking brilliant," right? But I just like after a while, I don't know. I got a bit tired. Like the humor,
it gets a bit samey.
It's samey. Like
they're all the same punchline.
Grinder's an asshole, and everyone sort of puts up with it. Or Chibodiji's always quite refreshing.
Well, they always add more layers to Grinder as the series goes on. You find out more heavily he's like a really stigmatized like anxiety freak. And also you've got the tragedy stuff with Steve's, where like the only family person he's really in contact with is his grandmother, who like enables him with his drug addiction and stuff. So I think you do have those elements to the character.
Yeah, I know, but I'm talking about the jokes and the humor, the comedy. The comedy is that a lot of the time it's just like them all being awkward at social scenarios, MC Grinder being a bit of an arsehole to his mates who are just sort of following around anyway.
And Chibodiji's like some new business.
And and it's like very fucking funny. And I remember years ago when I discovered it on Netflix, and I thought, this is just, I loved it. I properly loved it. I mean, I've got their CD and everything. I was fucking obsessed. but I haven't really felt compelled to finish it because it didn't feel like it was going anywhere. I didn't feel like I was watching these characters change that much. Like they're all, I suppose they have more elements to their story that was added on, but
definitely in Series 5. Series 5 is like so good.
I can't even remember where I've left it off. So
I think, maybe that's something.
Documentaries, but like
it's a mocku.
Yeah, it's my favorite out of all like our sort of mockumentaries within our social groups. It does something so much better than all of the other ones. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
It is a genius idea, though.
It's a lot better than like. I'm sorry to target one of Luke's favorites here, but Chris Lilly.
Is Chris Lilly the Aussie one or the New Zealand guy? Is it Australian?
There I am. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Luke gets a bit triggered when I come after Chris Lilly, but
who's Chris Lilly again?
Chris Lilly's the Jamae guy, and
we just got rid of him because I don't like it when he says this.
Well, he's
joking. It makes this live stream seem like a dictatorship. No, I'm joking.
It is though. It really is. Don't try and wrap up just yet. Let me get my Chris Lilly spiel out before you mute me.
Okay,
again.
right.
But
I'm not muting you.
I'm just saying, in comparison to stuff like PJDN and even like classics like Derek and The Office, What are you doing? What are you doing with the layout?
I don't know.
So yeah, no. In comparison to those shows, it falls a bit weak. Where it's just like his premise doesn't live up to the title or what the show's going for. That show Lunatics, which you were quite obsessed with for a while, I watched a bit of, and has no narrative direction, no overall character arc.
It's sporadic. It's all about the small jokes that you get from the little moments in it.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking for.
He's always the centerpiece of every joke, and like all the actors around him are either non-actors or are just given a premise to go off of. They're not in on all of what he's going to do, especially with that fat kid character in Lunatics or whatever.
Jonah.
Yeah, she has no.
No, sorry, not Jonah.
Well,
do you mean the one with the big legs? Do you mean the one with the big legs?
They're all shit characters, Luke. I don't care. Like all the actors around them have no clue what to do. It's always like a mess whenever you watch any of his shows. But that's just my opinion. Also, his jokes aren't very good. It's a bit Little Britain.
I think this is something that we should bring up in a discussion next week, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's definitely time.
Let's close the show. So Ryan, do you want to go first and wrap myself up?
Wrap myself up, yeah. I'm Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I've been a rep.
YouTube channel Ryan P Studios. Same thing for Letterboxd. Same thing for Twitter. That's about it. Don't let anyone on my Instagram. Yeah.
Alfieakers1 on Twitter. Alfieakers on YouTube. Alfieakers Music on SoundCloud, and Alfieakers on Letterboxd. That's it, really.
Charming. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in today. That was a lovely stream.
Yeah,
it was a little bit sporadic. Hopefully, next week we will be on time.
Hopefully you'll be in the fucking county, Luke.
Hopefully, you won't be an hour away from his house.
Yeah, hopefully. Anyway, we'll see you later, guys. Later. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.